What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hey, what's up if you're new? Welcome to the channel. My name is Ebony. So today's video we're talking all about increasing your energy. This is a hot topic because I mean, who doesn't want to just increase their energy? This is actually something that I've been struggling with in my personal life for the last couple of weeks. So I've been focusing on all the things that I'm going to share in today's video and I feel so much better. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video and it gives you an extra kick in your step. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already, and also don't forget to check that description box where you can find my website details, booking a consultation with me, all that juicy info, socials, Instagram, all of that stuff. It's all down there, so make sure you check that out as well. Oh, actually one more thing, I'm sorry to be annoying, but I have actually also launched a free guide which you can get, so I'll leave the link to that down below. It's on my website. It's basically 5 nutrition tips. It's 5 nutrition tips to improve your health. All you have to do is sign up to my newsletter on my website and yeah, you get it for free. Let's get actually into the video now. So number one, this is something I have been practicing and oh my God, it really does make a difference. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, do not go to your phone, do not have your phone as the first light hitting your eyeballs. So what you want to do instead is you want to get some natural light into your room. So get those curtains open, blinds up, whatever it is, and enjoy that first moment of in the morning when you're like, it's so bright. That is actually so good. It's gonna basically help with your circadian rhythm, and actually by doing this in the morning, you are actually nurturing a better night's sleep that following night and even going forward, because you are regulating your circadian rhythm. So I think I said that a bit weird, circadian rhythm. The other thing also people find is it actually helps to increase your alertness first thing in the morning. And honestly, just try it. I've been really emphasizing this in the last couple of weeks because I have been feeling a little bit more tired, more than normal, and it does really energize you. And just to add to this, the reason why this is such an emphasis is because nowadays, the majority of people will just wake up and then reach for their phones and then they're on blue light first thing in the morning. And that is not gonna be helping your circadian rhythm whatsoever. It's actually quite stressful. It's quite a negative way to start the day. I'm going to be talking about energy a bit later in terms of emotions, but actually, yeah, looking at your phone first thing in the morning, it is actually quite a vulnerable thing to do first thing in the morning, because your emotions, just everything, you've just woken up, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not really thinking that straight when I first wake up. And as soon as you get on your phone, you are bombarded with basically information being pushed in front of you. You've got no choice there. If you're scrolling down Instagram, whatever posts come up. So you might just see one thing that actually might make you think a bit negatively, and then there you go, you've set your tone for the rest of the day. And then just add another little bonus little tip to this one is get some fresh air into your room. Fresh air is literally like a hit of caffeine. Or if you want to go a step further, get outside. So either go for a morning walk, or maybe, just simply sit on your doorstep. Make your morning drink, whatever that is, and sit on your doorstep and just enjoy even 2 minutes of just time for yourself in the morning, get some fresh air. It honestly does the world of good. It's something that I'm definitely practicing what I preach, and yeah, can't believe how much better it just makes me feel. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about some vitamin deficiencies and maybe some things that might be worth speaking to a doctor about. Now, I do just want to be clear, if you have tried lots of different lifestyle and diet practices to try and increase your energy and you're not seeing any results and you just feel incredibly fatigued all the time, definitely recommend go see your GP and have a discussion with your doctor about it, because there definitely could be maybe something underlying going on. So a couple of things I recommend just checking in with is your iron levels. So yeah, when someone has very low iron levels or suffers with anemia, fatigue and just general tiredness is definitely one of the key symptoms of that. Other things would be your thyroid function. Good to check that that's all working optimally. Particularly with tiredness, that's more of a common symptom of the underactive side of thyroid concern, so hyperthyroidism. If you are vegan or vegetarian, you might want to check your B12 levels to make sure they are within range. Another one I would definitely check is your vitamin D levels. Really good just to see where they're sitting. Our main source of vitamin D is from the sun, and particularly with the last year and a half, I don't know about you, but I've spent so much more time indoors like I was thinking about, I was like, do you know what, I have been out obviously, but I mean, you know, I haven't been on holidays like I normally go on and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, my vitamin D levels actually have been affected over the last year, and I actually discovered recently that was one of the contributors to me feeling tired, so now I'm supplementing and I feel so much better now. I think they're some of the top ones that I would definitely have a discussion with your doctor about, but of course, you know, just speak to your doctor and they will of course best advise which tests that they think are worth doing for you. One thing I will share is a website called MediCheck. So I use this a lot in clinic for clients. So this is a website where you can get tests and you can test for these things for yourself and do it at home. I mean, some of them are at home tests, or some of them are like available. You can go to a clinic nearby and get them done properly, you know, by a nurse, etc. But this is a UK thing, just want to point that out as well. There is other companies in the US where they can do at-home testing as well, so you can just search for it. But yeah, just want to throw it out there that functional testing is available and it's definitely an option. On MediCheck, I'll link it down below, but they have an advanced energy testing panel, which I like that one because it really has pretty much everything I've discussed so far on there in terms of testing. And yeah, it's a really great option if you are, especially if you're struggling, you know, to get things done through your GP, because I do appreciate it is a bit of a hard time right now with everything going on. Before I round off on this point, just to quickly rewind back to vitamin D, because I feel like I kind of skimmed over that a bit too quick. Vitamin D as well, just to say, obviously we get it from sunlight, so that's another reason why it's so great to get outdoors. You know, I believe it's only about 10 to 15 minutes of sun exposure per day that we need to really help, you know, meet our requirements. Okay, so next up, let's just touch on food. So this is really quite a simple one, is make sure you are eating enough. Okay, are you getting enough calories firstly in your day, especially if you are eating, you know, a lot of people come to me and they're eating healthy, plant-based, etc. And then I look at their food diary and I'm like, yeah, but there is nowhere, like, there's not enough calories here in this day. Like, yes, it's plant-based, it's, you know, great vegetables and all this stuff, but you're just not meeting your calorie needs. So that is something really important to look at. Like, make sure you are actually feeding yourself enough per day. A really good way to like tell if you are is to check if that you feel satisfied and fulfilled after a meal. If you eat a meal and within an hour you're like, I am absolutely starving again, you're not eating enough and you're not getting enough in. So, and that doesn't even have to be quantity wise, it can be more of a calorie wise. So it could be more like just getting a couple more calorie dense foods into your diet to really help satiate you. So that could be like, most common sources would be like a bit of healthy fat that's really calorie dense. Okay, next up I want to talk about mental energy, and this is the thing that I probably would say is like the biggest game changer, if I'm going to be really honest with you. Now, when I say mental energy, what we really want to do is take a step back for a moment and look at all the external things more than anything that potentially could be draining energy from us. That's what we want to make sure that we are removing and limiting as much as possible. So an example I gave earlier was your phone. Your phone is the biggest energy zapper literally ever. Something that I did recently is I went on social media, so like Instagram, things like that, and I went through who I was following and I had a little bit of a clean out, and I really went through everyone and literally asked myself, does their content, because it's nothing really about the person. Sometimes, you know, if you unfollow someone, it's nothing really personally against them. It could just be maybe like their content is a bit triggering for you at the moment, or, you know, just with everything you're going through in life right now, maybe you're just not aligned with that kind of content right now, but maybe, you know, in a couple of months time you might refollow them and then it does align. But you've got to ask yourself in the moment, how does this person's content make me feel? And if it gives you any glimpse of like negative energy, unfollow. Like, it honestly makes the biggest difference, because then what you're doing is you are taking back the control on social media to choose, you know, what content you want on your feed, instead of going on and then scrolling through and then something pops up and then you're like, oh, that kind of gives you that negative feeling, and that saps energy, it zaps mental energy. And especially, you know, if, for example, let's take the topic of comparison. You know, if you see someone on social media and you do get that comparison thought and that makes you feel negative, like, that feeling can stay with you for the rest of the day. And how draining is that? Also, another thing you can also do is mute people. Mute is there for a reason, use it. Another thing that can really affect people's energy is the news. So all I would say on this one is that if you are someone who does like to follow the news, then I would recommend having it on a, like either on a device or in a way that you can choose when to read it, instead of it, you know, just always coming up. Like for example, if it's a widget on your phone, like delete it, so you know, when you see your phone home screen, like the news doesn't pop up, like notification, all that stuff, turn it off. I mean, I can't relate with this one. I do not follow the news. I'm not even going to get in the topic, but I am so against the media. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, I really am. And another thing I would also recommend doing is go on your phone settings and switch off as many notifications as possible. Honestly, little things like this make a big difference, because then, you know, you're not going about your day and then suddenly a notification comes up and then it diverts your energy and then you're going there and then having to go back to something else. Like, no, keep things very separate and turn notifications off. So for example, when it comes to your email, you go, right, now I'm going to go on my email and I'm going to respond, and you go on and you get to do it in that time, instead of just getting these, you know, notifications all day. It's draining. And then the last thing I'm just going to say on this point is stress. Definitely make sure you're aware of what your stresses are, and try and practice your, you know, stress managing techniques. One that I always recommend is journaling. Something that can be very draining is keeping all of these thoughts to ourselves and keeping them all bottled in our head. Journaling is absolutely fantastic. It's like free therapy. If you want a video on like stress techniques or just like relieving stress in general, like let me know. I could definitely talk about that topic for ages. So let me know if you want to see that, but I'm not going to go into it in today's video. Okay, the next thing I'm going to chuck in here is, how can I do a video and not at least once mention your blood glucose levels? I literally, honestly, I talk about it all the time. It literally relates to everything, I feel like, but in this video it is so key. Like the blood glucose levels, so your sugar and your insulin response, that definitely plays a role with your energy, because if you're having massive spikes in insulin throughout the day, you know, if you're eating lots of sugar, or, you know, having lots of white refined carbs, for example, and your insulin is being spiked constantly, I always say the sharper the spike, the steeper the crash, and you're going to have that crash and you are going to feel shattered. It is the typical mid-afternoon crash, you know, after you've had a lunch and then suddenly around 3 o'clock you're like, I'm so tired, I feel like I could go to sleep. I'm going to link a video on this topic. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm going to leave the link to that video and you can go check that out, and that is another thing which is going to really help with your energy. Another thing I just want to touch on as well for energy is look at your stimulant intake. And do you know what? My boyfriend said this the other day and I thought that was such a good line. He said, well, the thing is, he said, when something goes up, it has to go down. And I was like, genius. Yeah, so stimulants, that is a really great way to explain it. You know, you're having that stimulant, that's fantastic, like that coffee here, but eventually that is going to have to come down. And again, that can, in some people, depending on how you metabolize these things as well, some people are affected way more than others. And yeah, that can also then lead to having a bit of a crash later in the day. I know a real common one, I see it a lot with coffee. Some people just aren't very good at metabolizing coffee. They'll have it in the morning and by the afternoon they're just absolutely shattered. Or similarly, people have coffee too late, and coffee has a half-life of 8 hours, so it stays in the bloodstream for quite a while. So people who have it too late, they're just so wired at night and they don't sleep very well. And then of course, if you're not sleeping properly, then you're going to feel tired the next day, and it's like a circle that keeps going, and then you have more coffee to basically perk you back up, and it's this never-ending cycle. When I say stimulants, it could be things like alcohol, coffee, like caffeine, sugar is a stimulant, things like that, energy drinks, yeah, just check in with yourself, you know, is it something that maybe you're just overdoing a little bit? Not saying that you have to cut out your coffee, don't worry, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying keep an eye on it. Okay, and then I'm gonna do one more thing. There's actually so many things I could put into this video. Like, I haven't even talked about sleep, I haven't even talked about exercise. These are all other things which definitely contribute to energy. But the thing I'm actually gonna leave it on is actually a mineral that I love. I actually supplement it a lot in clinic, and it is magnesium. Now, the reason I love magnesium is because I really do think it's one of the most important minerals for the human body. It is needed for so many different functions, and we have something in our body which is called the Krebs cycle, and this is what contributes to making what we call ATP, which basically is energy. It's like cellular energy. And magnesium is absolutely crucial for that. So if we're going to go back to a cellular state of energy, magnesium is essential. It's also a key, what's the word? I don't want to say treatment, but like a supporter of adrenal fatigue as well. Really, really good for anyone who's struggling with that. It also actually really helps with your stress response as well, actually. So yeah, really helps with our actually linking with your adrenals, actually, that HPA, so your hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. It really helps with that loop. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I use it quite a lot in clinic. So what I would say is, you know, supplementation, obviously, you know, that is a possibility, but I would say start with food. You know, look at magnesium rich foods. I'll pop on the screen right now some example of magnesium rich foods, and try adding a couple more of these into your diet. And then, like I said, if you want to consider supplementation, you can. I would just say though, my favorite form of magnesium is magnesium bisglycinate. You get many different forms of magnesium, and yeah, just to put it out there, magnesium bisglycinate is my favorite. I will link my favorite supplement down in the description box for you. Anyway, I'm going to round off this video here. Yeah, I could go on and on. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and maybe if you want part 2, I can definitely do that. I'm going to be really honest with you guys, I'm actually struggling a little bit with content ideas at the moment, so if there is any videos you would love to see, or topics you would like me to talk about, please let me know in the description box. I really would appreciate that so much. And yeah, if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Like, honestly, you guys who thumbs up my videos, words can't describe how much I love you, because it just really does help out my channel. It's such a great way to support my channel as well, so it really does mean the world to me when you do that, and obviously leave comments and things like that. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Sending you all my love and positivity as always, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.